Hey y'all, it's Lizzie with LizzieandAaron.com, and I am going to take you guys through how to paint a mason jar. Something we get asked a lot is when to use acrylic paints or craft paint and when to use chalk paint. So something we would recommend is on any shiny, smooth surface, that shiny, reflective surface, you would want to use chalk paint. Anything like wood, canvas, something like that, you could use the apple barrel paint. So anyways, I'm going to take y'all through this. We get asked a lot about how to do this, so I'm going to show you guys right now. I've got a wide mouth ball mason jar. I'm not even really sure where I got this from, but it does have a tag on the bottom. So I'm assuming I probably bought this one, Hobby Lobby, maybe Walmart, something like that. You can find these probably at any thrift store, or it doesn't even have to be like a ball mason jar. It can be just a regular jar, glass jar from Walmart, or something that you find at the Dollar Tree, Dollar General, something like that. So we're going to use just a regular brush and use rubbing alcohol. And then I've got my chalk paint mixed up right here. This is mine and Aaron's chalk paint recipe that we use for just about anything and everything when we use chalk paint. So we're going to get started. I am going to start with taking my rubbing alcohol, and I want to clean the mason jar really well with it. Oh, well, it'd help if I opened it, huh? Lord help me. Okay, here we go. So I've got it open. Open your rubbing alcohol first. I'm going to just get my paper towel wet right here, and I'm going to make sure that this guy is really clean. I'm just getting any of the stuff off of here that might make my chalk paint not adhere the way that I want it to adhere. So this is really the only prep that you need to do for something like this, or for painting glass. You can just clean it really well, make sure it's dry, and that's it. Super simple. I've got, like I said, my chalk paint that I've already mixed up here. You see, let me take the end of this brush and just make sure that it's stirred nicely. And that looks good. And I've got just a regular brush from Walmart. So the way I like to do it is I stick my hand inside the mason jar. And being that this is wide mouth, makes it easier, right? So I'm just going to get a little bit of paint, thin coats to start. Thin, smooth coats. It's going to look streaky the first few coats. The key to this is to not put your paint on too thick. You're going to struggle if you're putting your paint on too thick, y'all. So we're just going to go all the way around, just like that. And I'm going to get the edge really well right here. And it's okay that it's pretty streaky. I've got everything going. Your chalk paint's going to dry pretty fast, but I'm going to help it along with my heat gun. My heat gun was a gift, and I'm not absolutely sure where it came from, but Aaron uses one that works really well, super inexpensive, and it comes from Harbor Freight. This one does not come from Harbor Freight. It was a gift, like I said, and I'm not absolutely sure where it came from. So I'm just going to turn this guy on and help dry it a little bit. There you go. Keep it moving so we don't make our paint bubble up. And you want it to be completely dry between coats. You don't want to start painting on it again until your first coat is dry. Hold it kind of far away so that you're not having any issues with your paint bubbling. I learned that tip from Erin, y'all, in one of her last videos where she was using her heat gun to dry the paint. So I'm going to set that aside. And now it's pretty dry. Well, it's not dry enough. You absolutely do not want to start in on it. If you don't have a heat gun, you can use a hairdryer. Let me take my arm out here. You can use a hairdryer to help dry it, but you absolutely do not want to start on your second coat until your first coat is completely dry. Reason being is that it could peel the paint away, and then you just kind of have a mess, a frustrating mess. So make sure your first coat is very, very dry before you start on your second coat. Keep it moving. Just like that. Ooh, that was hot. Don't touch the tip of your heat gun, y'all. It's hot. So, put my arm back in there, and I'm ready to get started on my second coat. So, now that I know that it's dry, I'm just going to get on there with my second coat. This could take 1 or 2 coats. Or 2 or 3 coats, sorry. Definitely more than 1. Now, the thing is that if you do end up with an area of your jar where the paint starts pulling away, don't stress it, y'all. Just let it dry. Don't keep trying to fix it, because the more you try to fix it, the worse it's going to be. I think I'm going to end up with 3 coats to make this look the way that I want it to look. This color paint is one of the Valspar sample paints from Lowe's, and it is, let's see, it is, I think they're like under $4 for the sample thing, and we like to use those for our chalk paint mix that we do. So I'm definitely going to need a 3rd coat. So we're getting this guy on here, not too thick. Like I said, you don't want it to be too thick. So the key to this is patience and keeping your paint on there pretty thin. So that's what it looks like after my second coat. Let me get my arm out of there a little bit. Messed up the tip of that. Okay. Heat gun. And we're going to start drying it. Make sure it's completely dry before we move on to our next coat. Now you would want to go back and fix that before you started drying it on your second coat. Just add a little. I did not, because I am going to distress my jar, because I like the way that makes the details come out when you distress it a little bit over the words, a little over the edges. I'm not worried about that. That's the look that I like. If you want it to be solid, make sure everything's even and smooth each coat you do. And we are just drying this guy, getting it good and dry. Before we move on, rinse, repeat, right? Same thing over and over again. Have patience and don't try to rush it. If you try to rush it, you're going to end up having a mess and getting frustrated. I can guarantee you that. Alright, so this is going to be my last coat. Pretty sure. So here I go. I'm going to hit up that spot. Go over any areas that look a little streaky. Make sure I cover it the way I want to cover it. Did not paint the bottom of my jar unless you're doing this for a project like a craft fair or something, or to resell. There's not really any reason to paint the bottom of your jar. Totally up to you though. If it would bother you to leave it unpainted, then you do your thing and you paint it. But for me, I'm not super worried about that, because it's just going to be sitting on a shelf, a counter, something like that. I'm not going to see that. But you definitely want to finish it out properly. I think that looks good. I'm happy with that. 3 coats is all I'm going to need. So back to my heat gun and drying this guy. You guys make sure that you're checking out lizzieandaaron.com. That's our blog. That's a home base for Lizzie and Aaron. Make sure that you're following along on there. We have a ton of projects on our website for you guys. DIY projects and whatnot. Also make sure if you want to, you don't have to, make sure you like and you follow our page, because we would love that. We do lots of DIY live videos on there. We try to keep y'all full of content. So we want it really, really dry before we move on to the next step. And the heat gun's going to help that. Happen a little faster. Use your hairdryer if you don't have a heat gun, y'all. It'll dry pretty fast on its own, but for the sake of this video, I'm helping it along. These look so pretty, different colors, you guys, like for spring. I love a painted mason jar in pastel. So pretty. Love it, love it. Okay, I think we're good. So like I said a minute ago, for me, let me put my paint aside because I'm done with that for now. For me, what I like is a more distressed look on my jars. So I'm going to show you guys how to achieve that. I have my sanding block here from Dollar Tree. These came from Dollar Tree for $1. Anywhere where the words are raised, I'm going to hit it up with my sanding block. Lightly, you guys. Don't get too crazy with it. Now, I am a heavy distresser on just about anything I do. That's what I like. You do as much or as little as you want on your project. You don't have to distress as much as me. That's just my taste. So, I like to make sure that all the lines and words are hit up. And then most importantly, here we go, on the front of this guy, the ball. And I'm just using a light hand because taking away is so much easier than putting back. I like the way that looks. I'm happy with that. So let me just dust it off a little bit. Can y'all see it? Let me get a little bit right there. I could sit here and mess with this all day though, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it be. So here's what we got. I'm happy with that. I think it looks really good. I already love the way that it looks. Now at this point, if you wanted to, you could seal it with a Mod Podge spray. You could seal it with Mod Podge, or you could use a wax, something like that to seal it. I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it just matte and chalk with that chalky finish. So, okay, I'm going to take some, we're just going to finish it out now. Make it look cute. I've got some light green raffia here that I'm not sure where it came from. It was in my raffia tub. And then I have the natural raffia. And so I'm going to use a little bit of that to wrap around the top. You could use ribbon. You could use jute, twine, whatever you like. Totally up to you. I'm using the raffia. I think the raffia will give it a really cute little spring look. So I'm just wrapping it around the top, underneath. Oh, and you could totally, you don't have to make this permanent. You could change this out for the seasons too. So don't think that you're stuck with what you put on here, because you're not at all. You can change your ribbon out for each holiday. You can add a little jewel or embellishment. It is up to you to get as crazy with it as you want. Okay, so I've got it tied right there. And then I'm going to take this little raffia's just, there's no rhyme or reason to it. You just kind of bundle it up and mush it all together. And then you can trim it and do whatever after. So I just have it all bundled up right here. I'm going to stick that in there and tie this off. Of course, my string is, or my ends are super long. We're not going to leave it that way. I love the messy look of that. Okay, let me get my scissors, trim it up a little bit on the ends here. And look how cute that is. I love it. You guys, it's so cute. Love it, love it. Okay, So now we have a really cute little painted mason jar with the white chalk paint. We put some raffia on it to finish it out. And now it's ready to sit on your shelf. You could put some greenery in it, which is what I'm about to do. You could use it in your office and wherever you want. Okay, guys, let your creativity go crazy with it. But I just have this little greenery sprig that gets passed around from item to item in my house, and I thought that it would look really cute in here and kind of just finish it out. How cute is that? Y'all, that's all there is to it. It's that simple. Well, I hope you got, you know what? This is really cute, but look at this too. I have this little arrangement over here that is in another painted mason jar, but I'm going to show y'all how that looks in here with the little pop of yellow. How adorable is that? I'm holding it this way so that you can actually see it. But you guys, that was super simple, and I hope that you found the tips helpful for painting the glass. This could apply to any smooth surface painting. To walk you through it one more time, make sure it's really clean. You can use rubbing alcohol to do that. Make sure there's no particles or anything like that. Use thin coats of your chalk paint and as many layers or as many coats as you need to get the look that you want. We just tied a little raffia around the top. We put a cute little arrangement in it, and we distressed it a little bit with our sanding block, and it was that simple. We've got a cute little shelf sitter or a little detail or a little piece of decor for your entryway. The possibilities are endless. So thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this. We will see you again very, very soon. Bye, y'all.